Hello everyone, it is Saturday the 1st of August today, so a quick update because I have one less thing to show you. If you've seen one of the other videos, the one before the stitch with me, the finish with me, I finished Eternal Promise. So just a few things to show you that I've been working on since then. Once I did finish that, I kind of was just a couple of days away from being at the switching point in my rotation. So I just worked out what my rotation, well, I'd already worked out what my rotation was going to be, but it was plugging it in a certain way to make sense. It's just to do with when I stitch Trick or Treat, because obviously Trick or Treat, Halloween, I should really stitch that in October, which I don't think I've ever done. I've been working out because I've been trying to do more journaling with where I am with my projects and when I finished pages, and I started it in 2017 for Christmas, so like right at the back end, and I don't think I've worked on it in October. I've worked on it in November's, but not October's, so not that I'm going to work on it on Halloween because of the way the rotation plans out, but at least in the right month would be a good start. So I'm counting back from then and where everything else would fit in. So today I will be getting back to Trick or Treat for my 2-week slot in the rotation. Maybe I'll go through a quick whip thingy at the end of this just to make it a bit longer, because as you can see I don't have so much to show you. A little bit, but not so much. So here we are with A Little Light Reading, which is what I picked up like a few days earlier. I could have stitched on Muka. I wanted to stitch this, so I stitched this. My rotation, my rules. My stitching, my rules as well. So I am doing working each page, and I was going to start working pages by page, but I got some really good stickers that I had custom printed for me that say page finish, so now I have to stitch in pages because I want to use my stickers. So, so we've got, I was on page 3, which was kind of this one. I had most of it down to that bottom second dark stripe there, which is the blanket curving in and upwards, being held up by the dragon's tail. So I did that. That little dark blob is a bit of dragon ear. So it wasn't all blanket, it was mostly blanket. The whole top row is mostly blanket, which is why I'm stitching it like this. So I finished page 3, and then I came down to, page 8. Oops. And this one is very, very little confetti at the moment. I don't know what it's going to be like once it gets down to the quilt, because the quilt has a lot of colours, so that might be a bit more confetti-ish. But at the moment, this is quick. This, I have about 3 hours in the evening to stitch, and on a good day, if I push it, I can get to nearly 400 stitches in those 3 hours. That's full crosses. But I was stitching 500 stitches. This was great. For speed, this one's good. So I've stitched most of page 8. So I had a couple of bobbles on the tail, so that's now done. And look at that tail, it's gorgeous. It's so lovely to stitch. I really love stitching these Randall Spangler dragons. Draglings, they're called, not dragons. They're baby dragons. I love stitching them so much. They just make me happy. The colours make me happy. So, new rotation rule. Always have a dragon or a dragling on the go. They make me smile. So this one's under the bed covers, although on top of a duvet. So, must have just put a blanket over. And I think it might be the male one. It's to do with the number of bubbles on their tail. And they are reading underneath the blanket. Are using a mobile phone for a light and reading the book. And when I was younger, I used to, when the lights went out for sleep time, I used to turn a little light on to do some extra reading. So this is why this one appealed to me so much. So, yes, next time I come back to this one is in the stitch it for a week every 3 months. There's 3 in the 1 week. There's so 2 pieces in the 2-week part of the rotation, so they get swapped every other month. 3 projects in the stitch it for 1 week. So obviously every 3 months. So he'll be out again this year. I'll get that page finished, and then I go down to this page. That has got a lot of white, because that's where the mobile phone comes in, and that goes across into the next page, which I'll probably follow. So that, I'm not looking forward to that bit. Who likes stitching white on white? Really, it's terrible. You can't see what you're doing, and it doesn't look like you got anything done when you have. So I'm going to have to find a way to deal with it, because I find with the light colours, that's where it's easier to see lines developing. And that's just because when you're stitching in one strand, it's the colours are lighter. 2 strands, definite more vibrancy to the colour. So if you're stitching a light colour with one strand, you get a build up on the back, and that colour suddenly looks denser, and I think that just gives the impression of a line. There isn't necessarily a line there, you're just seeing the extra thread. So it's more of a mind trick probably, but I'm trying to avoid it. It's just light colours. It doesn't happen with the dark for me, just light. Maybe it's because I'm so stressed stitching light colours. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll just get things rejiggled around, and then I'll be back. So after a little light reading, I worked on a stitch in time, and screw it out. I've got things propped up between the bookcase, between the bookcase and the craft cart, but doesn't mean I can show you. This is what I got done so far on the stitch in time. So, go the other way. So go from the bottom up. There's still a little partial page to do down there. Winter, autumn, hoop, bit of spring, no summer, can't get my months right now, and the spring shelf. So I'd done those 2 pages, and then I don't think you can pick it up. It's not looking so bad now. It's kind of, because that middle bit was stitched and the side bits aren't, the tension's going a bit wacky with my fabric. So my fabric's kind of bending. I don't know, warping. It's not warping. It will straighten out once it's all stretched, but because of the denseness of that middle strip, it's just not letting right for me. So I abandoned my plan of randomly choosing the page. I started going across, and I started going across and just working 4 roadblocks down, because the confetti was insane. Needed a break, so books make a good break to confetti. So focus, there we go. So we've got those. That's a little vignette coming in there, which I think is the only lady on this side, on the top row. So carried on across, and I got bored with that because the top bit is like the frame of the bookcase, and it was its own colour. The colours rarely dip down, so I just followed those colours across. And there's the lantern, that's on page 2. So I kind of just had that top strip mostly done. I hadn't completed it. So this last week I have stitched that, all that, or well, apart from that top bit, but most of that. So the wispy flowers down, I'm not going to be able to get, yeah, wispy flowers that are on the left hand side. I was dreading those, but not so bad. Then we had a little bit of confetti around that orb bit, and that kind of purple archway, that's the top of the door. So getting there, getting through the flowers. So this one, I can't work on this one for too long because I just kept getting frustrated with it. I enjoy confetti stitching, but I just wasn't happy with the progress. This one's the one where I'm mostly doing 300, just over 300 stitches in the 3 hours. When it gets confetti, it does take about an hour to do the 100 stitches. So, yes, that's it with that one. I don't think I'm working on this one every month, bite-sized pieces. So last week, every month, do this one. I don't think anything on my 1 week rotation is overly full of confetti, so I would have had a nice break from what I've been working on before that to then work on this one and just enjoy myself with it, take my time with it. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get page 1 finished in August. I mean, I would like to, but we do have a bank holiday, so that's an extra whole day stitching. But we do other things as well. Might not be going out, but we've got board games to play and we've got computer games to play. So, there we go. And I'm still working from home, so I do get a little bit extra available now. Like the time that I'm not going shopping and travelling to and from work gives me extra time. So, there we are, stitching time. 1 week every month until I get so crazy bored with it that I need to put it away. Or frustrated. Not bored, I don't think I can ever get bored with this one apart from stitching one colour, stitch and then swapping it for another. It just gets too much and I need a break. But that said, I have worked on it fairly consistently for quite a while. And then when I am working on it and I look at the bits that I've stitched, it's just, they're so pretty. I do want to get this one done. So yeah, tackling it in small pieces. So this is another piece that I've been working on. I can't be bothered to take her out the keys now. Once I've got something that's a bit more understandable to see, then I'll go out the key snap and do a full shot. But this is my 18 count piece, so I call it my sofa stitch because I generally stitch on a Friday when I'm sitting on the sofa in front of the TV. So progress is slow, which is why she doesn't get shown so often. This is Faces of Fairy number 185. From Heavenless Designs, the artist is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So we got, I bought the pages 2 and there's like a tiny strip of page 3. I brought those down to where I am on page 1. So I haven't completed a page yet, but I'm about halfway through the page. And because I got it on this, I think I made up an 8x12 Q-snap and it fits. So I'm working across, which, because I'm using Pattern Keeper, is so much easier. I don't have to fiddle around with pages. I don't do fiddling around with pages. I can't do without mucking up. So, but now I can, so I do. So where did we get to? We have... So I brought the red back down some more, because I finally caught up. And this bit here will be her eyes, somewhere in there. So, like I said, it doesn't really make a huge amount of sense at the moment, but once I've got the eyes in, which are a good point of reference, you'll be able to understand it a bit more. And over here's a lot of hair at the moment. So, lots of blocks of colour in the skin and black of the hair. And this isn't too bad either. So it's just nice. I just sit on the sofa on a Friday evening. We watch some silly TV programmes just to relax into the weekend. So there we are. I'll show you some more when I get more progress, but I don't get a lot of progress on Home in a Month. Also this month I have a finish. This project I stitch for about half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes in the morning before I go through to the other room to start work. It's my commuting piece. So Needles Dance, it was Nashville project for not this year, last year I believe, and it's a collaboration between Hands On Designs, Summerhouse Stitchworks and Ink Circles. I went for the blue linen option. This is 32 count, so I stitched it in 2 strands of threads. It was the whole kit. So, can't zoom in anymore. Right, so the Night Forest Weeks as the Needles Dance. So you've got needles and scissors and animals and flowers and bobbins and thimbles. So I got this finished this week. I was glad to get this done. There was a lot more stitching in this one than I expected. I mean, I did enjoy it. I don't enjoy the 2 strands so much on dark. 2 strands on dark fabric is a lot harder to stitch than 1 strand on dark fabric. But I think it needed it. I needed the colours to really zing, which they do on the fabric. It's really nice colours. So it needs an iron, also needs framing. Got a few in that state now. I need to get framing. So, one more thing that I've been working on. Something new to start in the mornings. I haven't quite decided what that's going to be yet. I am actually waiting for something to come in to start. And finally, for things I've been stitching this month. This is Death by Crossstitch. This is page 13 finished and started on page 14. So I'm actually about to do this once I finished recording this. I'm going to crack on and get a few more lengths of thread in. Page 14, as you could probably guess, is mostly a mirror of everything that was on page 13. And page 13 dragged, so I'm trying to find ways to kind of brighten up the experience. I love doing those eternal knot things. They're fun to stitch. Lots of back stitch, so I've got to bring this down, stitch around, and then obviously the bottom. I'd like to get the page done in August. I really would want to get the page done in August because that would then leave me with the rest of the year to complete 2 pages. I want to get this one done because there's other samplers I want to stitch and this is taking forever at the moment. So, yay! I should have it done soon. So, if I stop wasting time doing other things and just got on with it, as usual, cry of the cross stitcher. So, let me do a quick show and tell of the other full coverage projects that are going into the active rotation now. But then, she's not properly on bars, so she's kind of strung up a bit, which is why it's all folded weird. But you get the gist. Yeah, this is Snow Girl. She is by Neen Thomas, and this one is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, but it's now retired. However, Neen Thomas does her own charting, and this one is available, but I cannot for the life of me remember what she's called now. She's not called Snow Girl, but it's just a big portrait of a girl looking very cold, and it's a lovely picture. She's gorgeous. So I've got the top row done already. That's the top of her hair. Now this is another one of the 1 week rotation pieces, the second of 3, although she isn't going to be stitched in August, she's going to September. So September, start the next row of pages, and again I'll be using Pattern Keeper, so everything will kind of bleed in more. This one is the one where I've been back and forth about switching out the colour in the face, which is like course of Krynic, but I use the Petite Treasure braid. So I think I'm going to go with the Petite Treasure braid. It does have a slightly different colour. It'll go with a cold. She'll look lovely anyway. White is not going to work with her because the highlight colour is 3865, which is winter white, which is a warm white. And it's not going to go with a cold white. So, there we are for now. I started this one back in 2012, so this one is my oldest whip now. Obviously you can see she doesn't get worked on a lot. She's mostly that background, lots of dithering of colours. It's not confetti, it's just a lot of leave a lot of gaps, but you're using just a couple of colours. It's not keep looking at what I'm looking at, not looking through the viewfinder thing. So there we go. So yeah, this one will be lots of blocks of colour for now. Once I get down to towards the bottom, she's wearing a kind of furry type jacket thingy, stole thing, something fluffy. I expect there'll be a lot more confetti in that. There was some confetti in the wispy parts of her hair, but obviously there's not so much of that, and a lot of her hair is black. There's a few highlight colours to make it look interesting, realistic, but a lot of it's black. So, Snow Girl. Just let me fiddle things around again. And my next 1 week project, it's not such a big thing. This one is Unicorn by Lorna Lane, and it's a kit from Gecko Rouge. So that frame, that is confetti. Oh, that's so evil. Pattern Keeper makes it easier, really does. You can see where you're going. So that is the top 3 pages complete. I think so. It's 5 pages in total, but there's only 3 with any stitches on at the top. So yeah, that's done. Yay, first row. So yeah, you can just see where I switched to Pattern Keeper and started bringing some colours down. So this one is this month, yes. So I've got 2 weeks on Trick or Treat and then a week on this before a week on Stitching Time. So I think I might get, do I get to some unicorn on this page? Possibly. This isn't very big. I don't know how long it's going to take though, because that frame, that's a lot of work in there. The background's quite nice, blotchy pastel colours, unicorn in there. Once it gets down to the bottom, there's a scroll with some text in it that says, "I don't believe in humans." So I don't know how long this will take me. I don't think it will be finished before one of my 2-week pieces. So the debate would be whether I then bump this one up to be a 2-week piece later on. But I don't have to worry about that till next year. So, there we go. Small start on that. Hey, it's him. This is Just Be. This is my other 2-week project. This is Just Be, artwork by Jeff Haney, and it's from Heaven and Earth Designs. I love him. He's so cute. His ears, his glasses. So, this one is, this project is 6 pages by 4 pages, so it's 4 rows of pages. I'm on the 3rd row of pages, and I'm still on this page. I haven't finished this one yet. So there's only a small page, there's only a partial page after this. This is why I think this one will be my next one to be finished. In theory, I could have said, I'm going to focus on this, I'm going to stitch this one for 2 weeks every month. But I wanted a break from a full-on focus. So current plans would be to get this one finished next year. I think that is entirely possible. As I get closer, as I get to that last row of pages, it's entirely possible I will halt the rotation again like I've done, and either just stitch on this or stitch on this and rotate the others just for 1 week. But he's great. Look at those ears, he's so lovely. I can't wait to have him done. Again, this is another one that makes me smile. Some projects just make me smile while I'm working on them. I love this. It's great. I'm looking at it through the camera thing. Anyway, there we go. So, yes, my other 2-week one. Not this month though. He has missed a month on rotation. Just because Trick or Treat needs to be in the right place. But he'll be out next month, and I will enjoy 2 weeks on him. I will get that page finished, and then I'll be back onto his glasses. There's a lot of confetti to come on this one. He's wearing a gold chain. He looks so cool. He's wearing a gold chain. Quite a thick thing, but it's like the Randall Spangler ones. Everything's so deceptively, oh, this is so nice and easy and cute and bright, and then you hit the gems that are on the books. And it's like, so slow. This will be the same once I get to that necklace. I mean, it was bad enough doing those little beads that were in his fur. There will be confetti to come. So, just for now. And finally, for the active rotation, Trick or Treat. Again, Randall Spangler, chart by Heaven and Earth Designs. I've stitched this one so many different ways. I'm going back to stitching page by page. Page finish stickers. I need to use them. So this one is actually too long to show you full hanging. It goes onto the floor, and so I've got some leaves. I've completed 4 pages already. 4 pages. I'm on the bats. I'm going to go back and finish off page 5. I think all that blue is boring me a bit, which is why I decided to go across and work on some of the confetti bits. So, gotta go start on the other pages. I'm going to finish page 5. And then work on page 6. And you can kind of just see that circular thing that's forming. That's the big moon, and there's a witch flying across the moon. So, hopefully I can get into some of that as well in my 2 weeks. So, there'll be an update on this one in a month's time. So that's it for my active rotation. Hope you enjoyed watching that. I love seeing all the comments that you guys leave for me. I try and respond. I try and answer any questions as they come up. So we have it. The rotation looks very odd without Eternal Promise on it anymore. But that does mean that I can get Snow Girl out because those background colours are so similar. I needed a little bit I needed a bit of a brightness break from the greys and the grey browns and the grey greens. And now I can get back to them when I work on Snow Girl, but she's a couple of months away. I've got some bright things to do first. So, that's it for me. Glad to have you visiting me again, and look forward to catching up with you again next month. Bye for now. Bye bye.